Temptation. It's not just a moment, it's a battlefield, and every believer knows the war. That tug between what you want to do and what you know is right. That quiet whisper that says, just once won't hurt, and that sinking guilt that follows when it does. We often think the greatest battles happen in the world, but the fiercest ones happen in the heart. Maybe you've tried to overcome a habit, a thought, a weakness, but every time you promise, you fall again. And now you're tired of trying, tired of fighting, tired of feeling like you're disappointing God. But friend, listen closely. Temptation is not sin. Falling for it is. And the presence of temptation doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. Even Jesus was tempted, but he overcame, not by avoiding it, but by depending completely on his Father. In Matthew 4, when Satan came to tempt Jesus in the wilderness, he didn't come wearing horns. He came disguised as reason. Turn these stones to bread. It seemed harmless, even logical, but behind that suggestion was a deadly message. Rely on yourself, not on God. That's the core of every temptation, not just sin, but self-dependence. The enemy doesn't just want you to fall. He wants you to forget who you are and who you belong to. It's the spirit of self-dependence that brought Satan's fall, and is the same spirit that leads to our defeat. When we try to fight sin in our own strength, we lose. But when we surrender the fight to Christ, we win. Because temptation loses its power when the heart stays connected to the source of power. Think of a lamp. It only shines when it's plugged into power. The moment it's unplugged, darkness creeps in. Not because the bulb failed, but because it lost connection. That's what happens when we stop praying, stop watching, stop depending. We lose power, not because God left, but because we let go. That's why Jesus said, watch and pray, lest you enter into temptation. Notice his words, lest you enter. Because without prayer, you will. Temptation doesn't just knock, it waits. And prayer is the only barrier that keeps it from stepping in. Peter once said to Jesus, even if everyone else denies you, I never will. But hours later, he fell, not because he didn't love Jesus, but because he trusted himself more than prayer. Jesus had warned him, pray that you enter not into temptation. But Peter slept, and when temptation came, his strength failed. That's what happens when we rely on willpower instead of divine power. But the story didn't end there. After the resurrection, Jesus didn't shame Peter. He restored him. He asked, do you love me? And 3 times he affirmed him again. You see, God doesn't discard those who fall. He rebuilds them. He doesn't erase your name. He writes grace over it. When the soul surrenders itself to Christ, a new power takes possession of the heart. That's how victory begins, not with trying harder, but with surrendering deeper. So, if temptation feels too strong right now, remember this, you're not meant to fight it alone. Call upon Jesus in the moment of weakness, not after you've fallen, but before. Cry out like Peter on the water, Lord, save me, and instantly his hand will reach you. Because no temptation is greater than his grace, no sin stronger than his mercy, no weakness beyond his reach. He conquered the tempter. not so you could be perfect, but so you could be free. When temptation feels too strong, remember, your strength is not in resisting harder, it's in surrendering sooner. God loves you.